Hello everyone, and welcome to another stream of building my TweetTextarea component. If you've been here in the last stream, you'll know that we implemented basically the text update event, or finished implementing the text update event, and fixed a couple of bugs here and there, and added some skeleton basically for the for implementing the basically when the user changes the cursor position, we want to dispatch an event to send basically that includes the number of the text, of basically where the text cursor is inside the input area based on the text length of the length of the text that is actually currently in the text area itself. So what we ended up finding out is that we're gonna have to basically handle build basically how that event is handled, from basically handling the mouse events and the key events and the touch events as well, because there's no there's no any sort of event listener on the dev element that can give us something similar to what we get from the select event on the native HTML text area. So what we'll do today is we'll start trying to implement how we can convert the range component, the range object that we get into basically a start and an end number that tells basically the user where the cursor actually is inside the text area. So one thing we did last time is that we said that we are going to dispatch this event only when the user presses the arrow keys. But since we are also gonna need to dispatch the same event when the user inputs some text, I was going to dispatch the event from the input, but then I realized, what is the point of doing that? We can just basically implement it all in here. So we're going to remove this because we don't need it anymore. We'll basically dispatch the event on any key press. We'll also add another thing here, which we'll check for editor ref.current to make sure that it's valid. And one thing that we'll do is, let me see what sort of types do we have. Okay, so now we're gonna do this. Let's start. I'll decide later if I want to make that an interface or not. And then let end number. And then the first thing that we're gonna do is that if the text area is empty, if there are no nodes inside of it, then we will just send 0 and 0. So we're gonna do this if editor def.current child nodes length equals 0, then start equal end equal 0. And going to dispatch and then we'll return. For now, that's the simplest thing we're gonna do today. What we need to do next is we need to get range document.get selection const range equals selection get range add 0, if not range return. Otherwise, what we're gonna need to do is we are going to have, let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a bit better. We'll then need to do this start container start offset end container and end offset equal range. And is it just complaining about not being used? Yeah, that's fine. We know they're not used. So the idea here basically is, and let me bring up Krita quickly to explain what we're going to do. Let's say that we have this as a paragraph and this as another paragraph. What we're going to do is we're going to find where exactly like we get the start container and container, and we'll figure out in which paragraph we are. And let's say that we start here, or basically the cursor is here for the start, and this means it's in the first paragraph, which means that there are no other paragraphs before. And let's say that basically the cursor ends here, which means we're in the second paragraph. That's the end container, or the end container actually would be the text node itself, and the paragraph would be, so we need basically the start paragraph, which is this one, end paragraph is this one, the start offset will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so we'll type 6 here, and the end offset will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's inside the basically the text node. What we need to do is we need to basically calculate these points relative to the text that comes before them. So if we have paragraphs before, basically we calculate the length of all of these paragraphs. Then if this is a node, so let's say that actually this was a mention, so this would be like a formatted node. So we calculate the length of all the nodes that come before this current node. So we have all paragraphs plus all nodes plus start offset in the case of the start, or end offset in the case of the end. So in this case we don't have any paragraphs, so the length of this one is 0. The length of this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 6. And the start offset here is 1. So that would be 1. So the start number should end up being 7. And the end should be, basically we have a paragraph, so we need to calculate its length, which is in this case, that's 6. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which means 15, and then we need to take into account a new, like basically add 1 for a new line character, which means that this would be basically 16. So in this case, all the paragraphs before, the length of the text inside them is 16. There are no nodes before this one, so the length will be 0, and the offset would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which means that the end is gonna be 20. So this is basically the idea. It's just finding out exactly where we're at inside the text, and then basically adding all the length of all the text that comes before, to make sure basically that we give the user the proper number or the proper location based on the text, without any formatting or any of the stuff that we we have set up in the text, because as like the range object gives us a lot of data that we don't need to pass to the user because it doesn't make sense. It's much easier to just give them like a numbered location, and then they can manipulate the text based on that number, and we can then update the text inside the text area based on the manipulations that the users do. So let's try and implement that, and our first implementation is probably gonna be way too crude, and we're gonna need to clean it up a lot. So let's think what we need. So the first thing that we need is to get basically the paragraph that we're at for both the start container and the end container. And we have a function that already does that for us. Basically goes up the chain until it finds a paragraph for us. So what we'll do is we're gonna do const start paragraph equal, and I think we need to import we'll probably end up moving this to something else once we sort of start cleaning it up and refactoring it, but for now we'll just keep it here. So we'll need the utilities, get parent paragraph, and we need to pass the node. And then we'll do the same for this. So we now have the paragraphs. What we need to do for the final calculation of the start and end numbers is to make sure that both the start container and end container refer to text nodes rather than because there's a chance that these could refer to like a paragraph, for instance, rather than a text node. It could also refer to, like, of course, a span element inside the paragraph. So we also need to make sure that the start offset actually point to like an offset inside the text node. So what we need to do is we can do this anywhere. We can do it before we get the paragraphs or after we get the paragraphs. I'll just do them before. Doesn't really matter where we're doing that. So if start container as element dot tag name equal b, then what we'll do is the following. We need to get the current node based on the offset, because if start container is a paragraph, then the start offset would be referring to the index of the node, which means that this would be start container dot child nodes, and the index would be start offset. Actually, if current node dot node type equal 3, then start container will equal current node, else what I'm thinking about is trying to think if there's any situation where current node map may actually be just a line break element. To be safe, we'll do this current node dot as okay. Just to be safe, really. Then start container would equal current node dot first child. What is your problem? Okay. If start container dot first child, if current node dot first child, and then we will set the start offset to 0, and then basically we'll do the same here for the end container. And the end offset would be end container dot text content dot length. If end container dot text content dot length does not equal undefined, then we'll add this here. And before we go any further, let's just print the start container let's just see what we're actually getting from this logic, because I have a feeling things might not work as I'm expecting. And let's make sure that the only complaints that we have is that these are not used. Yep. Let in number. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Just a bunch of values that are never actually used. So let's go here quickly and let's see. Today I'm testing with like just the regular test app rather than the like threader app that I use. So what happens if we do this? We get text h at 1 1 1. That's correct. Hello. You know what? Let me do something quickly. Okay, we're getting. That's very interesting. Getting some cases. Interesting. Why did we get that one? Not really sure. How did we get this? Okay, I see. When I press Ctrl A, okay, first of all, let me just do something quickly because this is bugging me really. Console.table, we'll just do start container, start offset, and then do the same here, end container and end offset. Build this again. Let's make this a bit smaller. Okay, that worked. And let's do this. And again. It's still loading the old version, which is lovely. Yarn clean. Then we come here, yarn start. It's gonna complain that it can't find the TweetTextarea package because it's not installed, which is what we need. This is the only thing that seems to clear out the cache or whatever. I'm not sure exactly why sometimes it does that, unloads the old version. So yeah, let's do this. Oh, that's interesting. Is it still loading? Yeah, it's still loading this. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, remove TweetTextarea React. And let's try. Did I save? Yeah. I saved. So what is the problem? Yarn start. Okay. So can we do it now? Okay, one more time. Let's see if it actually loaded the correct thing this time or not. Yep, this time we have the correct thing. So let's do it. Ooh. Yeah. That is not working. Okay. Yeah, let's not do that. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Let's just go back to what we had. Delete those two. save and build again. Probably won't work. But let's try it quickly. Did that work? Nope. As usual. Yeah, remove. And it doesn't want to build. Yeah, I think I should have started it with the yeah, should have started it. Come on, I did remove it already. Now it fails and we wait for it to actually load properly. Hopefully it will this time. Let's try again. Okay. One more time. Okay, yeah, that is working properly. So let's see. That all seems to be working almost correctly. Except for when we actually press Control A. So we need to figure out why is it doing that. Let's see. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Yeah, I think it already starts with the start container as, yeah, already starts with the start container as the div when we press Control A. Okay. And I guess we just need to add a check for this here. So we'll do this, yarn remove TweetTextarea. Maybe try doing that. see, we need to do something similar. If start container equal editor ref.current, then see, I think that should be correct. So if it's the dev element, then what is it that we're going to do? We'll get the current paragraph, if I can type properly. Editor ref.current.child nodes start offset, and then if current paragraph dot first child if current paragraph dot first child dot node type equal 3, and start container equal current paragraph dot first child, else if current paragraph has element dot tag name equals dot first child dot tag name equals span, then what we need to do is start container equal current paragraph dot first child dot first child. If current paragraph dot first child, and one thing I'm already seeing is that we have a lot of repetition happening here, so we may as well convert this to a function. Actually, yeah, let's do that. We'll add this one here for now. Function find text node, and we will get just need to check something. Current node dot okay. And it will return text or null. So here's what we're going to do. While element dot first child, if element dot first child dot node type equal 3, then return element dot first child as text. Otherwise we return null. No, wait a second. That's dumb. While let current equal element, and while current otherwise we set current to element dot first child as element, and for now find text node. So what we'll do is const text node start container before we do that, if element dot node type equal 3, just return element as text. Why? Okay. To be honest, I don't really think this needs to be undo. Let's rename it. What did I do? So utilities dot find text node in current node. If text node and start container equal text node, which means we can remove this. We can do the same here. One text node and the current node, and then we will do this end container equal text node. Delete that. And then again do the same here. What did I do? We'll only change the start offset if we actually change the start container. This way makes a bit more sense, I think. Then we need this one as well. Then copy this, paste it here, and hopefully this should continue to work and actually fix the issue that we were having when we were getting the text area itself, the dev element, as the start container. So let's see what happens if we do this. Let's make sure first that we got everything. Nope, we didn't. So let's remove it. Let's start. Let's just close this, no point. And let's build one more time. Another start. Let's look in the debugger, and we're still loading the same old garbage that we've had. Interesting. I think I may have a clue as to why. Let's do this. Okay. Build. And that doesn't build, so let's try again. Give it another go. Why is it still loading this? Oh yeah, I think I know why. Keep forgetting to do that. So we are clean. Come here. Start. Good. Fails. That's what we needed. Let's cancel and come here and build one more time. Rebuild. Yeah, this is a bit funny, to be honest. Okay. Finally, we are getting something correct. So let's see. Yeah, that works. If we go back 0 to 5, that's what we expect. It's still So it fixed this. But for some reason it didn't fix the end container. So let's try and figure out why. Yeah, that's why I don't even need to do anything. Just forgot to change this to end container. Ugh, that's what happens when you copy and paste. Okay. Let's run it one more time. Good. Of course. Okay. Give it another go. Make sure it's changed in the debugger. Nope, it's not changed. It's still doing the same garbage. Okay. Okay, we got the error we're expecting. Let's just do this one more time. Okay. Give it another go. Hopefully it would have updated by now. Yep, that's updated. So let's do it again. Hello. And if we now do this, node is undefined. That's interesting. Okay, let's debug it. 270, which I think, yeah. Hmm. So we're gonna have to do something here. Okay, so for the ending bit, that's what we'll do. Const index equal end offset equal editor ref dot current dot child nodes dot length. Then we will do end maybe let's make it less than then end offset, otherwise it would be end offset. Actually, you know what? Let's just make sure. Okay, then we'll use this one here, and we need to do the same here. Because the problem we're having is because in this case when we did select A, gave us some end offset of 1 because the end offset, like it's after the paragraph, the first paragraph node, but the first paragraph node is actually the last paragraph node in this case. So when it tries to get the paragraph at the index 1, it doesn't find anything. So when we pass it to find text node, it doesn't work. And actually, we'll do this as let, and this is let as well, and if end container dot child nodes index, actually I'll need this end container dot child nodes index as element dot tag name equal br, then index minus equal 1. And we'll do the same here, but we'll do editor ref dot current dot child nodes end container. So again, we're starting to sort of get some patterns here. So should be a way of actually making this into a function. Let's make sure that it's actually working first, and then we can figure out how to convert it into a function. Okay, let's build this now. Okay, start. Okay. That seems to be working properly. I mean, it's loading the text properly. That's what I mean. So we do this, it's 0. That's correct. Brilliant. So it's doing exactly what we expect. So if we press Ctrl A, as you can see, we're getting the correct nodes. Okay, so that's great. Let's stop this, clean, come here and start one more time. Yep, that's what we wanted. Okay, so let's think now about how to convert this into a function. So we'll get this, make it function, get text node at end, and then origin node would be node, and it will return let me see what do we have here, because Yeah, it will return an inode and offset. Okay. Inode and offset, or I null node and offset, and then we do this. Otherwise, we just return this, and we do this, undo. Something weird happened. Oh yeah, that's why. So here's what we are going to do. End container and end offset would equal, and let me yeah, text node at end, text node at end, origin node is gonna be editor ref current, and end offset is gonna be just the end offset, and I think we can't do that, right? Yeah. side effects. Can I do that? Nope. Let's see. Okay. So we have to actually make it like this. End container and offset. And then it's still not correct. Yeah. Okay, what if we did this? Okay. Okay, let's just simplify things. Const node offset if not node or not offset. Actually, let's just this case I think it might be if node then end container equals node, if offset then end container, so end offset equal offset. Then we'll do the same here. But instead of passing the dev element, we will just pass the end container itself. And let's see. Okay. So let's see this. Again, everything's still working as we expect. Okay. That's great. Okay, so we have this. Then we may as well convert this one. Start, and we'll make this start offset, and in this case we will just copy this. Return node start equal text node actually, and offset should equal 0. Delete those two. If not current node, then return node is gonna be null and offset is gonna be null, and we'll do the same here. Origin node, and we actually don't need, oh no we do, sorry. Then we'll copy this one here and pass it the start container and start offset, start container, start offset. Add this one here, and we're gonna pass editor ref.current. Okay, let's rebuild, make sure everything still works. Oh wait, this is not gonna work because we don't need this anymore. Rebuild one more time. What was it complaining about? Oops. One more time. should have everything properly working as far as I can tell. But we'll discover that now. First, make sure that it's actually loading. Nope, it's not loading the correct thing, which is annoying. Let me also, we need to change this to start. And build one more time. And of course it doesn't build. Let's give it another go. Okay, that's correct. Let's see. What? Why? Interesting. So why is it? Basically, when I select all, then I press the right arrow. Start container. Okay. I think I see what is happening. Okay. Yeah. It's doing a similar thing as far as I can tell. So yeah, let's do this. Clean. So I think we're actually going to I think we still need this one here. Okay. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, for now I'll do this. We need origin node, which is going to be node, and offset, which is going to be number, and we copy this, paste it here, and then return origin node dot child nodes index, and then instead of doing all that here, we'll do get current node from origin node and end offset, and again problem is I need to go here and this. That's what I expected. Hasn't updated. Okay. Okay, that's good. Let's see if we build it now, will it do anything? Okay, let's try this one more time. So when we do this, yep, that's not correct. I think I know why. That's very stupid from me. Let's go here. First of all, is not null, and we need to add that because good. Let's just start it. Because I think we're gonna still have a problem. I don't think this will work as I'm expecting it to. Okay, let's see. Debugger. Yep, okay, that's correct. So let's do this. Let's come here, select this. Yep, that's what I expected. Okay. This is not really working. Okay, so here's what we are going to do. Function get text node from origin. Origin node's gonna be of type node, and offset is going to be of type number. and this one is actually, well, just going to return inode and offset, or inull node and offset. And here's what we're going to do. We are going to copy that here. So basically what I'll do is I'll combine these two into one function that that just does things exactly as I expect them to. It basically will check if yeah, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't think this doesn't make sense to combine them into one node. Let me just get this one. And actually, yeah, we'll leave this one here. Here's what we are going to do. Let final offset equal 0. And if text node will do here if offset equal if offset equal origin node dot child node dot length if start offset, then if text node dot text content dot length does not equal undefined, then we're going to do final offset equal text node dot text content dot length, and then in here final offset let's add this here. If the start offset is if the start if the origin node is not a text node and the start offset is at the end, is at the very end of the origin node, then we need to set the cursor to the end of the text node rather than the start, and then let's just add utility function that returns the current child node of the origin node by not what I wanted. If offset is at the end of the origin node, then it returns the last child node unless the last child node is a line break element, then it returns the child before last. Assuming this should work, but we'll test it. and discover what happens together. Okay, so it doesn't work as we want it to. Okay, let's just give it another go. Check the debugger one more time. Library, and let's go to the end. Okay, so this should be working. And let's see. Great. Yep, does exactly as we expect it to. Except here. That is lovely. Oh boy, it's still doing weird things once we start adding other paragraphs. I think I know why is it doing that. But let's just quickly check this and see what is happening here. So we type hello, all of that's fine, and let's go to the debugger and let's come here. Yeah, let's so dot container is a paragraph. That makes sense. Start offset is 0 and offset is 0. That again makes sense. Gets node and offset, and they are actually both null. Expected. So it just doesn't update them. Goes here, that doesn't check. That doesn't evaluate to true, so it skips it. Does the same thing here. Again, both node and offset are null, and that's why it skips it. So it basically does what we expect it to do, which is that it doesn't change any of these. Okay, so let's see what happens when we do this. Okay, so that evaluates to false. This will evaluate to true, but again, node and offset. Wait a second. Okay, so that's fine. But I think this one, because it has empty children, yep, it will evaluate. It won't update this. So why is that? Let's actually test this quickly and actually just go step into the function, which get current node from origin. Again, let's step into this one. Index equals 0. Oh boy. So in this case, index will be -1. Which won't make any sense. We'll go back here, it will check that, and it will just return null. Okay. Let's see what happens with the other one. So this one is fine. This one is fine. So let's step into this one. And again, step into this one. So wait a second. Origin node dot child nodes dot length. Interesting. So origin node dot child nodes. Okay. Yeah, this is the dev element. Okay. We go back here. Current node is a paragraph, so that makes sense. Text node is null because it doesn't find the text node. So it returns null. Okay. Okay, I guess I'll have to stop here for today. It's been a long day for me at work, and I really need to think about what I want to do in this case when there are no text nodes in one of the paragraphs that are being selected, and how can I handle this case. So yeah, I will continue doing that. Let's do something here. I would say debug. Actually, it's not debug. It's a to-do, because we sort of know what is the problem. We just need to figure out what we're gonna do there. Figure out how to update the start container, start offset, end container, and end offset when the text cursor ends in a paragraph that has no text nodes. So yeah, just so I can basically remember that we're having an issue here with this, and we can basically come back to it and fix it, hopefully, or figure out what to do with it. So for now, let's just save, and I'll zoom out. Yeah, that would be it for tonight. I'll see when I'll be able to stream again. Might be tomorrow, might be the day after. We'll figure that out, and yeah, hopefully we'll be able to solve this issue we're having with the basically with figuring out how to set the text container, the start, basically the container and containers and offsets properly, so we can actually dispatch the event at the end. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for joining me today. And yeah, hope you have a good evening or good night if it's a bit late where you are. Thank you.